What is up, everybody? Welcome back to 5 Minute Movie Reviews, the show where we review all your favorite movies in 5 minutes or less. So, guys, as I always say at the beginning of every review, it's becoming a cliche now. I'm very excited, and I'm still very excited, to be talking about a movie that maybe a lot of you haven't thought about in several years. It was kind of an internet meme for a little bit from the very famous scene of Gerard Butler kicking a man down a giant hole. But I'm, of course, talking about 300, the Zack Snyder Spartan epic. And this is actually going to be the first part in a new series I'm doing of Zack Snyder films, aside from his DC films. So I'm going to be talking about some of his lesser-known movies, because I hate his DC movies, all of them actually, but that's a subject for a different time. But it's going to be leading up to the release of his Justice League cut on HBO Max next month. So, yeah, or I guess later this month when this review comes out. So, yeah, guys, I'm pretty excited to dive into this. So let's start off with 300, which I personally think is his best movie objectively. Some people hate this movie that I've talked to. They say that it is a testosterone-fueled, disrespectful to Iran, just all that kind of stuff. And you know what? It definitely is. But you know what? If you want to watch a movie of men that are just insanely ripped and oiled up, killing each other in brutal fashion in pretty well done action sequences with some pretty fun acting, then you know what? You're going to have a good time with this movie, and I certainly did. Is the portrayal of Iran and, Persia and all that stuff problematic? Yeah, most certainly. It's definitely not respectful, and that's not okay, obviously. But, it's a weird line to walk, you know what I mean? This is where talking about movies gets not that fun, because it's you're kind of walking a line here. I try to kind of take that stuff out of my brain and just view this as just a film. And as a film, I think it's pretty entertaining. It's not trying to do a whole lot other than entertain you. This movie kind of feels like if a frat bro adapted his favorite historical epic into a film. And Zack Snyder very much seems like a frat bro to me, for better or for worse. His DC movie is definitely for worse. But with this movie, I think it's just a lot of fun. Very well directed. This has a visual style that almost feels like a comic book. There are comic book adaptations, like the MCU, but those very much feel like films. This movie, from the visual style, from the over-the-top acting, from the gratuitous violence and nudity and oiled up muscular guys, feels like a comic book on the screen. Like it feels like you were watching a comic book play out. And I think that's done in really good effect here. The action sequences are fantastic. This is kind of the originator of Zack Snyder's slow fast mo, as it's being called, where there's slow motion for a second and then it speeds up and then there's slow motion again. Those type of action sequences, they don't always work for me in his films, but in this movie I think they were used pretty well. All the action sequences are very fun to watch, super bloody, but again, just very well done action sequences. I was kind of shocked rewatching this movie that this movie's actually very competently made, and I really respect the movie for that. Zack Snyder definitely had a passion for this source material, and unlike the DC movies and Watchmen, which Watchmen is a movie of his I'll be talking about, where it seems almost like he doesn't understand or he's trying to tackle themes that are kind of out of his reach. This movie is tackling a comic that has very simple themes. Muscle-bound guys kill Persians. And Zack Snyder knows that pretty well. Not a lot really deep going on here. And he adapts it to the screen very well. Gerard Butler, this is probably his breakout role. He played the Phantom in The Phantom of the Opera a couple years before this. But this is probably his most well-known role as Leonidas. And I think he makes the movie for me. He's definitely the actor who seems like he's putting the most work into his performance. He's almost unrecognizable in this role. I don't know if it's because of the grainy camera footage effect that they're using that kind of makes the film feel kind of grainy, or the fact that he's wearing so much oil and his facial hair has been dyed black to such a crazy degree that it's hard to recognize him. But he's really doing a great job here once you peel all that away. Really impressive performance, I think. The other actors do a good job too. Michael Fassbender's in this movie. You might be surprised to learn. I sure was when I rewatched this the other day. And he does a pretty good job in the movie. He's not in it a ton. He's in it more than you might expect because this was pretty early in Fassbender's career. But he does a good job here. I think it's pretty well done. Yeah, guys, there's not a whole lot to say. I'm not sure the length of this review. We'll figure that out in editing. But, it feels like I haven't said much in regards to substance, but this movie doesn't have much in regards to substance. So, yeah, guys, fun movie if you want to check it out. I certainly recommend it for you. Zack Snyder's best movie, far and away. Very simple, and he's good at simple. So I'm going to be giving this movie a 6.5 out of 10. All right, guys. So if you enjoyed 300, let me know down in the comments. And like I said, my next movie in this Zack Snyder series that's not talking about his DC films or DC Cinematic Universe films is going to be his Watchmen adaptation, which is one of my favorite graphic novels ever. And he butchered the adaptation, but that will be for the next review. So, guys, thank you as always for watching. Be on the lookout for more reviews and more podcast episodes very soon. I will see you all next time. Bye.